Good enough. So let's send him charging forward and assault. And place him next to the enemy. So, Dark Day. Interesting. There's the Dark Blow. Wait, I don't have a Tinder anymore. So what do I do here? Am I screwed? Hey everyone, this is Nitro. In this video, I am going to be doing the first challenge battle of the Firework Festivals event, which is Fireworks of a Midsummer's Night Dream. So it's to grab really the outfit points, 20 challenge points, and 30 Trinity crystals. So let's begin. Alright, so for this fight, you're facing off against the Night Terror, which is Fias, okay? There's two aspects of this fight. First, an enemy is randomly spawned every single turn. It's randomly placed that you have to wipe out, okay? And so the easiest way of doing that is to have extremely high mobility characters who can deal with it. For example, Omega is amazing, Zerida is amazing because they both have high mobility. Clarett would work very well as well, with her ability to move 10 tiles. And another character that can work is also Sonya, because Sonya has the ability to attack, and after killing a target, she can retreat 3 tiles. So she can attack and regroup. So I'm going to just, because I know not everyone has Omega or Clarett, I'm going to use Sonya as my second damage dealer, along with Zerida. So those will be my 2 attackers for taking out the spawned enemies. Other than that, right, I'm going to be bringing Elwin, Leon, Tiaris, and Liana. Right, Leon here should not bring Chivalry, so he should bring 2 attack skills. So I'm going to bring just Smash and Assault. And in the case of Elwin, well, it's kind of up to you. You know, Frontal Assault, or sorry, Faction Buff would be a pretty good thing. You know, swords, but keep in mind that this opponent does dispel buffs from your characters. Okay, so in that sense, Faction Buff may actually not be worthwhile because a lot of it gets removed constantly. It's kind of up to you how you want to optimize your character. You know, maybe bringing Sun Slash and Roar, which can be used far more consistently than Sword Soul and Frontal Assault, may be worth considering. Crush, for increasing your damage by 12%, is also well worth considering. Or increasing your attack by 12%, sorry, is also very much worth considering. And finally, another character that can very much help is characters who can increase your party stats, like Matthew with Attack Command, or Lanford, right, who buffs all your party stats. So those can also help increase the damage output of your party in general. So it's ultimately kind of up to you which ones you want to bring. For me, I'm just going to bring this party. You know, it's safe and it works, I suppose. Now, it may not have as much damage output as other parties that bring the Attack Command or Lanford, but at least I know this will absolutely clear it in the long term. So finally, I'm going to have Liana bring Gospel, Heal, and the last skill doesn't really matter, I suppose. I mean, Act Again can be brought, yeah. So I'm just gonna keep this as is. You know, Tiaris is gonna have Heal, Attack, Blessing, and Miracle. So with all that configuration done, I'm going to begin. One last thing I should mention, okay? The way the enemy works. First, only Tinder units can do damage to the Night Terror. More about Tinder later, once the battle starts. And it's a buff, though. And this enemy has 2 skills that can remove buffs. Dark Blow, that dispels 5 random buff effects, and Dark Storm, which is a 1 ring skill that dispels 3 random buff effects. And if there's no Tinder units on the battlefield, it uses Dark Day, which is an AoE attack that will wipe out your party. So in other words, the goal of this whole fight is to keep the Tinder buff on your characters alive and well. And this is pretty much the standard party of doing it. However, an interesting alternate party I should mention is rather than using Elwin and Leon, you can actually use, let's say, young Jessica and Alustriel. So Alustriel should probably bring catapults with Ullrs bow for a total of 4 range. And then young Jessica, when she activates, as long as she is in her divine bestowment state, she has 5 range, right? So in other words, you can have a character with 5 range and a character with 4 range, let's say here and here, endlessly attacking the Night Terror, right? These two characters will also be completely outside of the Dark Blow and Dark Storm range. Dark Blow can only hit 3 lines, right? And if Alustriel is attacking here and young Jessica is attacking here, they can't get hit by either AoE strike. So that's another interesting method of clearing it, right? Alustriel and using Alustriel and young Jessica at outside of the AoE ranges and just endlessly attacking until he dies. Yeah. But I'm going to rely on the Elwin Leon combo simply because it's the most common. Okay. So, with my party configuration set up and everything, let's just begin the battle at this point. Not much else to say here. Here we go. So I'm going to turn on the danger zone, and this tile is where you pick up that, what I just mentioned, the Tinder. So first I'm going to move Elwin up. Actually, I'm going to move everyone up pretty much initially. And so let's just have Elwin charge forward and faction buff to start. Okay. Next, let's have Leon grab the Tinder. And you can see here that it's a buff, right? Tinder, you can deal damage to enemies in the dark plane, and after you take action with the character, it randomly teleports to another adjacent friendly unit other than oneself. So the buff teleports after your character has moved. Okay. Just going to Gospel up Leon at this point. I might as well have Tiaris provide buffs to these characters. Just gonna move Sonya over. Right. Now have Tiaris attack blessing Leon, like so. And I'm going to have Zerida activate Obliterate to provide, and also provide King's Crown buff to Leon. So Elwin gets an attack this first turn, doesn't even go through the mass raids. And now a random opponent, the Night Spirit, has spawned. Right? So I'm just going to have Sonya crush him with the assault skill. And with the kill, right, I can also move back and get some additional stats, right, due to her talent. So now I'm going to have Leon charge forward and assault the Night Terror. And then back up a tile to transfer the buff to Elwin. Next, I'm going to miracle up these guys here. But before I do that, I might as well just provide a attack King's Crown buff from Zerida onto Elwin. Right? Might as well increase my damage this first turn. So I'm just going to shift Liana over, like so, getting her out of the way. So that there's a spot. Oh wait, I would move into his attack range. It's not worth it. So you know what? I'm just going to end Zerida's turn over here, where she can take out targets just the way Sonya does. Out of range. Then I'm simply going to have, I guess, Miracle from Tiaris on these characters. And have Elwin rush forward with Frontal Assault to start. So, Frontal Assault does damage and transfers the buff back to my Leon. And Dark Storm is used, which will dispel 3 buffs from Elwin. So there we go, right? So now I'm going to have Zerida kill off this Night Spirit that spawned on this side. So no kill for Sonya this time. Let's just end Sonya's turn. In the meantime, I'm going to heal up. Actually, I'm going to have Leon attack first with Smash. And transfer the buff back to Elwin now. It's turn 3, right? So I have to be wary of the Dark Blow soon, right? Because it's used after 3 turns. So I'm going to heal up Elwin for now though. And now have Elwin Sword Soul and transfer the buff back to Leon. And at this point, I'm just going to end Liana's turn. So now it should be time for the Night Terror to probably use Dark Blow, right? Because three turns has passed, it's turn 4. So what I'm going to do is the following. Well, start with Zerida killing off the Night Spirit once again. Next, Leon is going to attack and retreat, of course, but I should probably provide Attack Blessing onto him first. So now we can strike, do damage, and transfer the buff. Elwin is going to strike as well. Transferring the buff back to Leon. Now, because I have to avoid losing the buff to the dispel, I'm now going to act again my Leon here and have him attack one more time with Assault, and then transfer the buff to actually Liana. That way she's not within the 3 lines and keeps my Tinder buff safe. And I'll just end Sonya's turn. So Dark Blow is used. All those buffs have been removed from my 2 party members, but I've kept Tinder, the key buff to survive. Well, in any case though, first things first, let's have Sonya crush this Night Spirit and back off. Next, I need to transfer the buff to a character that can use it, right? So it will be Leon attack, then Elwin attack, then back to Leon, I think. So let's just have Liana gospel up my name, right, and transfer the Tinder buff. Then I'm going to have Tiaris heal up. Oh crap! That was very careless, but it should work okay. We'll see what happens. Because with this move, the buff may actually transfer to Tiaris. Fortunately, it didn't. If it transferred to Tiaris, it would mean Elwin can attack. He would faction buff instead. But since it's on Elwin, I'm going to have Elwin attack. And transfer the buff back. And I'll have Zerida faction buff here. Dark Storm is used. Let's have Sonya smash a Night Spirit. Uh-oh. So my Sonya actually is missing a tiny bit of damage from one-shotting without this attack skill. Interesting. That's my fault. My Sonya's not fully built up yet. I'll show her stats afterwards, but I think she's using a level 20 weapon. That's why. Regardless, it's okay. Turn 6. This guy's about to die. Mostly. So I'm going to just heal up Elwin to start. And have Leon strike and retreat. And same with Elwin. Enter. And now we're just about done. Elwin takes a hit from the Night Terror. Doesn't do much. And finally, Leon will finish the battle by... I'm going to attack blessing him first. Right. So the thing to keep in mind though is after, remember, this skill does have a 3-turn cooldown. So turn 4 with the first use, and 5, 6, 7. I think the next usage is turn 8 because there's a 3-turn cooldown, right? Regardless, simply if it's used this turn, you simply you simply end, let's say, Liana's turn and transfer the Tinder buff to her, and then you can keep going. But since I can finish the fight right now, I'm simply going to have Leon attack and not have to transfer the Tinder buff away. But it's basically just a cycle that you follow. There we go. And then I got the rewards. So that was actually not that difficult. Alright, so I'm going to quickly go over my Sonya, as promised at this point. And as I said, I actually didn't gear her up properly. That's why she almost failed to kill off a target. But if you have a fully geared Sonya, she shouldn't have any problems. Of note, you can see my Sonya has 56 attack out of a maximum of 80 attack increase in the class mastery enchants for Grandmaster. And in terms of equipment, yes, she is holding on to a level 20 Dark Dawn. So that's why her attack was almost not enough to kill off that target. I had to rely on, first, her having 1 Demon Blood buff, and second, having Arcane Battle Garb kick in for the kill. Right? But if this Dark Dawn was upgraded, for sure she wouldn't have had any problems killing. Similarly, using Strike for the plus 20% attack would be okay as well. So, yeah. As long as your Sonya is geared, like you can even transfer gear from another melee character. As long as you have any, like a Seal Guardian or something similar. As long as she has gear that she can use with damage increase, she'll be able to kill off the target just fine. And then with the kill, once she stacks at least one of these Demon Blood buffs, she shouldn't have any problems at all. Alright, so that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Nitro out.